Hello, now we're moving on to the removing and replacing of a hub and fan blade. Now the reason why you may have to replace a fan blade is possibly some kind of obstruction came into the heater and bent up one of your blades, or possibly a hub was broken. And the only way to be able to take care of this, the only solution for this would be to replace the fan blade and the hub. If the hub was broken, you would want to replace the hub. If the fan blade was only damaged, you could only replace the fan blade and leave the hub. But in this instance, we're going to show you how to remove and replace the whole fan blade and the hub. So this is the fan blade right here. Is the aluminum piece with the gray painted center. So you would remove all 3 screws. Now in the process of removing these 3 screws, you would remove what was used to tighten them in here. And so you remove the 3 screws. That takes off the fan blade. Now this is the hub. So the hub is screwed in with 2 Allen key bolts that should have about 35 pounds of pressure behind them. You just loosen those up and they should have some Loctite on them. So they may be a little tight. Now take that off and just slide it off. There's a keyway inside. Make sure you don't lose the keyway. The keyway is very important. It's what actually helps the shaft just not spin inside of the hub. So now we remove the hub. This is a brand new hub, so I'm just going to replace it with the same one. So normally the hub will come disassembled, which doesn't mean it completely comes apart. It just has the screws not put into it the way I'm showing you right here. So these 2 separate screws would come by themselves, the hub by themselves, with 3 different screws. Now we're going to put the keyway back on there. So the keyway's on there right now. We're going to slide the hub back onto the shaft. Tighten them down. Now when you're doing this, it would be nice to be able to use a little bit of Loctite to just put on the threads. Now I'm not going to do it to this one just because this motor is not an actual heater, so I'm not. And then you just tighten it down and try to put about, I don't know, 20 pounds of pressure on it. You don't have to go crazy tight with it. Then you grab your new blade. Now you're going to want to line up these holes with the 3 holes on the blade. Now these are lined up. Now I can't lift this motor and put the screws in, so we changed positions real quick. So you would put these screws in, and once again, if you got brand new screws, it already comes with a little bit of Loctite on there. It never hurts to put a little bit more on there. So once again, a little bit of glue. As you're putting it in, tighten it down. And then repeat. A little bit of glue, tighten it down. A little bit of glue, tighten it down. And that would be the installation of your fan blade and hub. The first step you would take to replace a fan blade and a hub assembly would be to remove the grill. So the grill is held on by 4 11mm bolts. And the 4 bolts are found at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And that's for a Titan 800. So you would remove righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, all 4 bolts. On this one I've already removed 3 of the bolts, and I just being held on by my 12 o'clock bolt. That would pop my grill off. That would give me access to my fan blade. And as I previously showed you how to remove and replace your fan blade. So you would do that whole process, and to slide this back on would be just as easy as removing it. So once you get the blade replaced, slide this guy back on, grill. Now, not all the time will it line up. Just gently tap it with a mallet, a rubber mallet, and do the opposite, 11 millimeter. And this one has 4 bolts. Tighten it right up. A little bit of Loctite, and tighten them down. Here are the tools necessary for being able to change out your fan blade. So a little bit of Loctite, Phillips screwdriver, 11 millimeter socket, and an Allen key, which is 3/16.